So, kids, welcome to the first episode of Random Rants and Rants. I'm your host, Sauce. Now, today we'll be talking about the inconsistency of shadow fights demons. This is something that's always bugged me for a long period of time, and that is the inconsistency between the game Shadow Fight and its demons. Now, interestingly enough, something I've always been confused about is in the intro of Shadow Fight. I really wish I could bring up screenshots of like a video or something here, but not only would that require editing time that I don't want to do, it would also require me to you know, actually pull up the video and re-download Shadow Fight. And considering it's literally a space issue since just a while ago I didn't get to even record this video. Yeah, it's not happening. What I'm trying to say is the inconsistency of Shadow Fight's demons is that in the intro it shows that these demons got special powers, and in the prequel it's shown that that people like Lynx and Hermit were normal people before the Shadow demons took them, which makes me question several things. For starters, if you guys were also great invincible warriors, how exactly did you lose? Did you lose to Titan? You guys had they had their skills before they had beaten Titan. Probably should turn off my Wi-Fi before I made this video. Who cares? You'll never know that I'm recording in real time until I just told you a while ago. Point is, when I'm now let's get back to the consistency. As I was trying to say, the inconsistency of Shadow Fight's demons is that it's all been told that Shadow Fight's demons are supposed to be people of intense strength, and Shadow is supposed to get stronger as time goes along, but who the hell is training him? And he's just fighting tournaments and winning. It's not like anyone really said he's getting stronger. Because for starters, how exactly do they plan to beat? Did they plan to beat Titan? I mean, he's Titan, a guy who managed to single-handedly fold an entire world. And don't even get me started on like the underworld. In the very first intro of the underworld, Sensei said that they're in a cycle of creation and destruction. So let me ask you several important questions. Who exactly creates things? Because if they just destroy things, it's a pretty understandable concept. But who creates them? And why they not be willing to help Shadow destroy? Why would they not be willing to help Shadow destroy the Shadow demons? Because they stand in the way of their plan, the ultimate plan of creation and destruction. So how exactly would they not try? Why exactly would they not try and help Shadow? It doesn't make any sense. Like even if the creation destruction thing, I think a better final boss would be all the underworld demons combined into one. But then again, I have garbage ideas, so hey, I'm coming from somebody who's only been playing Shadow Fight for since it released, or a few years after release. Since I'm pretty sure it was released after a few 2 years after I was born. Point is, it's not the point. My point is, I believe that when it comes to the demons, I have several questions about the underworld demons. For example, who exactly brought them into who exactly brought them into existence in the original world. It stated that they live in an endless cycle of creation and destruction and they plan to destroy the gates, but Shadow should help them instead of fought them, because he's struggling to help them, and they would destroy the gates for him. It means they would free Shadow, because behind the gates is Titan's Empire, and Titan's Empire is what Shadow needs to become a normal human being again. All I need is a Titan Seal, so why didn't he just pull up with like a whole army of underworld demons, destroy literally everyone? Like Volcano alone would already be able to take on everyone in Shadow Fight, no question. Assignment has teleporting abilities and every ability under the sun, bro. There's no way he's not gonna be able to take down every demon. That's not even get me started on the inconsistency of actual demons in Shadow Fight. The biggest inconsistency I always see in this is that somehow, someway, these demons thought it was a good idea to rip Shadow of his flesh, but did that not make him stronger? His eyes even turned blue. Would he not get like some sick shadow powers or something like they have? Also, the biggest inconsistency when it comes to shadow fights demons is the white eyes. Because like seriously, not everyone has white eyes in the story who's supposed to be a demon. And don't even get me started on what this game is supposed to be shadow manipulation. Apparently, you can in this universe you can train to be a shadow manipulator. Like the first guy you fight, which is Sensei's student Kenji is just literal. He can defy shadow logic. I was just thinking, cause something that's most confusing throughout the whole story is if Shadow is supposed to be some kind of master, so invincible no one could touch him, like his name was MC Hammer or something. Why exactly did he need to retrain to go face off against someone like Sensei? Like at the start of the story, you can't even beat somebody like Lynx, but at the first part of the story, he's taking on like 9 guys with swords. Are you serious? And we're gonna go ahead and assume all these people are actually skilled You're telling me he had to go all the way back to Sensei to do it? No, I understand the concept of shock. So maybe he's shocked, and so maybe he's a bit shocked and needs to go back to Sensei to remember his old ways. But like, you're still a combat master. Also, it's not like this. It's not like anything else changed apart from his physical appearance. There's in the end of the game, it's shown that he has his physical appearance back, which made him so strong. But what's the point? Because when you're done with the physical appearance in the game, you can go back and complete some side questions, side missions, and stuff like that. Like, well, yeah, actually, you do have some stuff to complete, like raids and stuff. But you've always confused me with that, because like, how is Shadow gonna fight against people if he doesn't have shadow powers? Like the this little emoji this that picture before you fight somebody, or picture when you're fighting somebody, is all you need to know about their personality and who you're fighting. But how exactly Shadow, as a normal human being, now going to fight somebody like even a regular demon, since you can't go Eclipse and then beat every demon again? How exactly does Shadow manage to go back and do that? And even so, even if he went back to Sensei and learned the old ways, how exactly was him beating any of his bodyguards supposed to help him? Now, another issue of consistency I don't see is these people's strengths. So it's said that these are all shadow demons. Crazy, right? Who knew? Games called Shadow Fight. But let me ask you something. If they're shadow demons, should they not have the powers of the shadows? Like, who's to say somebody, why is it Shogun is the only guy who can summon people to fight for him? Why can't Lynx do it? He has shadow powers too, as well as everyone else on the list. Like, Hermit's skills could have actually been useful, which he trains somebody who's trained before, and then they come back to help in a fight. I think the only person who got that concept right was him. Also, it said that in the show, it said that in the game that Titan can control anyone's mind and corrupt it, but like, why didn't you just do it for Shadow? He's your biggest enemy, and it's obviously a case of overcockiness, as shown in the game, because he thinks Shadow won't win, but only has me asking a million more questions. Like after he beat Shogun in the Gates of the Shadows, as he's about to open it, why didn't you just take him in too? Yeah, I'm all for it, dude. And as I was trying to say, if he if he if Titan knew if Titan knew Shadow was gonna die, if Titan knew Shadow was coming to his gates, knocking on his door, like turned into an invincible soldier, strong enough to one shot Shadow, and you're telling me you couldn't turn Shadow into your invincible god unit? Like, if Shadow was already strong enough to beat every gate of the demons on his own, and he took his girlfriend who can't even fight correctly, and somehow managed to make her stronger than him, what exactly would have happened if he simply just buffed up one of his own bodyguards? Like, I feel like when it comes to Titan, his real bodyguards are the demons, and I feel like that should have been a thing. I don't know why, but the stories of like Titan's demons don't really make any sense, which is why I don't like them. I like his demons, but they just don't make any sense. Like, for example, they all just work for him. I don't really see any motivation or backstory behind it. One of them is literally called Assassin, and the rest of them are just general ranks. Well, there's one general. Also, Shogun's men are all in general ranks for some reason, and nobody's ever explained why. Point is, if Titan could make somebody like Mei into a super soldier, why exactly did he not make Titan or any of his other bodyguards into super soldiers? Like this man could have legit just taken up his powers, messed with Shadow's mind, telling him to work for him, and instead he just wasted his time. It's just, I know it's supposed to be something like, yeah, he did it correctly. He tried to mess with Shadow's mind, makes sure you have to fight the person you love the most. But like, why? It's another case of willing inconsistency. Because this guy's supposed to be a demon beyond demons, a guy who just destroys because he wants to. No explanation as to why, he just does. That just makes me laugh a bit. Oh, and now we're gonna get on to the real meat and potatoes of this segment. This, of course, being my good friends, the Underworld Demons. Now, we briefly covered this a while ago. There's hell to pay yet, friend, because let's start talking about the rest of the Underworld Demons. So, the rest of the Underworld Demons immediately have a glaring issue about them, and that is their stupidity. First, for starters, when we're starting off in the game, it said that they live in the cycle of creation and destruction. Again, I've already asked you who the hell recreates the world after they destroyed it a million times. Like, they just call up the god of creation, like, hey bro, we just destroyed like 60 cities and need to rebuild all that. And who exactly has had that job for thousands of years, just restoring everything that's just recreating everything that's destroyed? Because no one said he recreates life either. So are those just empty fixed cities? I need an explanation in your game. Next, the most glaring issue I've always noticed is how exactly do the custom characters work? Because there's extra characters that don't make any sense, like the Son of Heaven and Candy. These characters are obviously just timed events similar to that witch girl, but they don't make any sense. Like where exactly does the Son of Heaven fit in the lore of Shadow Fight? I don't remember any of his dialogue boxes. I could just pull them up now, but I don't remember any of them. I'll probably not edit it in, but I will. I will. Actually, Let me give you one of my superb cuts to see the Son of Heaven's dialogue boxes. God, that's loud. As I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go and see some of his dialogue boxes. BRB. Alright, so I'm back. Apparently, the Son of Heaven's dialogue is that apparently he trained a Master Nova to fight Shadow Form, but here's a bit of a question to it. That doesn't explain who ran the creation and destruction path. For example, I think that section I was just talking about was how oh, cool. And that's what I was trying to say was about how stupid it was that this guy ran was supposed to be a son of heaven. Does that mean there's a son of God in this universe? And if God does exist in this this is gonna really make me question if Christianity is supposed to be like it's supposed to be taking like myths from Christianity and implementing this game because the son of heaven does not look like that. There's not even a son of heaven in real life. Makes me ask if he's this strong with his weapons, who exactly was Nova? Because she had those wide eyes like she was a demon. But here's the special thing: an inconsistency of demon kids. How are we supposed to know who's a demon? Who knows? Like seriously, at this point, anyone can be a demon in Shadow Fight. If you just have no eyes, a little bit of white in it, you're a demon, man, and you somehow have the powers of one too. Like apparently these guys apparently people like Lynx and the Gates of the Shadows have gotten bodied and these stories have reached even heaven. So let me ask you something. How exactly does the Son of God or whoever runs heaven in his world not come down and congratulate Shadow for destroying what is basically the icon of sin in that world? It really makes you think. And this isn't probably even done. Next video is I finally got around to making random rants videos. I'm probably gonna upload every week since, got a horrible upload schedule every week. Kids, just until Christmas break rolls around, and I finally get to upload more. Looks like beauty. I must also go this way. Actually, having difficulty trying to figure out this point is, as I was trying to say. I'm trying to say, this is just one of the many cases of inconsistency I've seen in Shadow Fight. Like another case of inconsistency is if Shadow was a great and invincible warrior, and people told him about the Gates of the Shadows, who exactly told him about the Gates of the Shadows? Because it's not like he can leave that place. Not like he can leave that place freely without beating beating a whole demon group. Like something that's never made sense is these guys say they're locked away for years upon years, but Titan is powerful enough to take over somebody's mind. Why would he not just buff up his men to fight Shadow? Another case, if Titan's so strong he can do that, what's to stop him from just leaving his world? He has futuristic technology and robots. What's to say he can't just blast down the door? It is a rock wall. And who exactly bonded these guys here? Is it the Son of Heaven? Because it was the Son of Heaven. Why exactly was he not congratulating Shadow after he just beat all the demons that he freed? Also, is the Son of Heaven was the one guy who actually is the Son of Heaven was the guy who legitimately he was the Son of Heaven was the guy who legitimately sealed away the demons. Why exactly did he not come down to destroy them after Shadow unleashed them? Like, and then again, we still don't know who the God of Creation was. It was because like after all the Shadow's destruction, all the cities that were destroyed, Shogun's burning city, all have to be fixed by that guy. Like a janitor coming through to pull up everything. Everything like it's that job has to be painful, bro. That man has to come up, mop up everything with his powers of creation, and he's probably the least known about God in all Shadow Fight. They're probably saying, "But wait, don't the underworld demons just clean their face?" Well, yeah, but why they want to be a destructionist anyway? Like if their entire cycle is creation and destruction, who exactly created them? Like I feel like the Shadow demons couldn't have created them since they say they want to destroy the gates. The Son of Heaven's lore doesn't tie to any of this. So he's just some guy's like, yeah, just let me just fight you. I just want to brush up on my skills. Also, if he's the Son of Heaven, why is he not able to body in full shadow like Sunday morning laundry? You're the Son of Heaven. You should be able to snap your fingers and Shadow's dead. Stop snapping noise. I didn't play that. And I was trying to say, I just feel like he can easily full shadow like Sunday morning laundry. And he shouldn't even be able to. He shouldn't even be able to make a sweat when fighting Shadow. Since he's a Son of Heaven. Are you serious? Okay. I was trying to say he's a son of heaven. And no one's ever. Oh my god, the ads! Please stop with their horrible ads. As I was trying to say. The Son of Heaven is probably the most inconsistent thing about Shadow Fight, and that is not only does he not show up, he just doesn't make any sense. Because even if, but the main question I have for these games is who exactly created the Shadow Demons? Was it the Sun? Is there Satan in this universe? Did he create the icon of sin as the Shadow Demons? Are they all supposed to represent something? I feel like, oh wait, there's one like kind of proof that these are all supposed to be like seven deadly sins. Actually can't identify which one would be with Hermit. Obviously, no butcher would fit gluttony. Widow would fit lust since he forces men to fall in love with her. I don't know what the rest would fall under, but I feel like Hermit would be sloth. Sloth and Titan would be wrath. I don't know what the rest of the sins are though. So yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be an analogy for that, but who exactly sold away the seven deadly sins? These sins, cause it's not looking too consistent here, pal. Let's not forget the most inconsistent thing about all Shadow Fight, and is that the demons never make any sense as to how they became demons. Like in Sensei's story, which is a prequel to where he met Ancient, no one ever explains how he exactly met these demons. Like he just met them on the street randomly. So you're telling me Lynx was just a common thief before he was a demon of the shadows, and someone like Lynx was just a common thief. I think he had to seal in Shadow Fight's prequel. I'm not sure. I'll probably check that now. But if he had a seal before then, does that mean he beat people in insanely deadly combat? Because most of the stories, of the horror stories that some of Link's bodyguards tell you, I think the most frightening one is Ghost, and that is that he easily beat Lynx in his first round. When he moved the mask, all he saw was a dummy, and then he just appeared behind him, and his claws are in his neck. So are you telling me he's so fast that he managed to go get a dummy, put it where his mask is supposed to be, and then appear behind him? Yeah, I'm not biting it unless Lynx is supposed to be like the Flash or something. I highly doubt that he's capable of doing all that in such a short space of time. And interestingly enough, Lynx own had his own system of assassins called the Brotherhood of the Shadow, which only makes me ask more questions. Like more people have experienced this, more people got converted, inconsistency all around, kids. And the sad part is Shadow Fight 3, I don't think it even expands on any of these concepts because at the end of Shadow Fight 3, apparently the evil Shadow is the boss, which is just, yeah, I really appreciate it. Like, you things are pissing the shoes when anyone actually cared about Shadow's character arc. Also, Shadow never speaks a word of dialogue in Shadow Fight 2, which is depressing. Also, the Demon Shadow Fight 2 was supposed to be like the second game, but like, there never was a first game. So what do you mean the second part of a game? Always confused me, you dig? So I think that's all the inconsistencies I can point out about it. Besides the, oh yeah, I almost forgot the main inconsistency. If Wasp was just a female, just a regular female before, and then she turned into a shadow demon, or exactly was her father when she transformed into this? Also, apparently these guys are just fine with being transformed into horrible concept of mankind. They're just fine being turned into shadow demons. Did they not have any family to look out for them? I mean, it's canon that Wasp would have a family who'd look out for her, like her pirate queen and her pirate dad. So why exactly would they not be looking out for her? Like he even states that just mysteriously disappeared one day, but no one ever acknowledges the fact that these people come back with entire powers. Also, something interesting about Widow is that she had men around her all the time when her hair was down. I'm talking about the prequels, by the way. Yet in the next game, she doesn't, and she does it tied up, and she's supposed to be like the sin of blessing now, since every man is flocking to her, which isn't making much sense there, pal. Because for starters, any man, you're telling me any man came to her? Come on, are you serious? Anyhow, I was trying to say, any man came to her, and then she was fine with that. Like for starters, the Titan unironically just make her the sin of lust, and she never realized it, or is she just fine with it? Because she even states that she would turn shadow into one of her slaves, but it never really. It always begs the question: what exactly do they do with Widow all day? Besides just try to get her, what do these men do all day? Is the second bodyguard you fight is some old man who even states that after getting some sense beaten into him, he's like, man, I was really a simp, and I'm 80 years old. Like that man is a simp at that age. What are you doing, Grandpa? The funny part is about this whole story is it never explains what exactly Widow slaves do for her outside of worshiping her 24/7, which sounds depressing. Let me see what else other consistencies can I bring up for this. I don't think that's actually any other consistency I can bring up. I'm pretty sure I'm going over every single consistency Shadowfly 2 has. 2 has that doesn't make any sense, was not explained. or it just doesn't make any sense. I think the only final one I can never explain is why Ancient was so keen on just leaving it, and they said in the next part it would be to be continued, and then the story was never continued. Like Shadow Fight 3 is our most recent Shadow Fight since Shadow Fight Arena, and they never, and they proceeded to never explain the lore of that to me, which is some peak comedy only God could write in his free time. Like, could you imagine just telling me, yeah, you don't need to know right now, then forcing me out and then never telling me the story of it? It sounds depressing. Like, these years later, and we still haven't gotten an answer to the lore of that story. Okay, I think that'll be the end of this video. The next video coming out will most likely be that Better Let's Red. It's probably gonna be done on a different device since, well, you know why. Well, no, my name is Sauce. My name is Sauce. Pouring on a plate, delicious, delicious. No, I'm just kidding. That's a terrible outro. Outro. Well, my name is Sauce. Name is Sauce. Plants vs Zombies. Had better. This is the best Plants vs Zombies based game mode. I'll see you next time. Bye.